Today, we're going to focus on the trading ladder, depth of market, right? The DOM. We're going to talk about the DOM. We're going to focus on that and go through how to use it, how to set it up. Appreciate everybody coming today. So let's take a look. Up on the screen right now, I have the web-based trading platform, right? Now, I wanted to, right off the bat, I got this special tip from Mission Control, and you can see it doesn't look like it's in a browser, but I'm going to hit my F11 key, and there's the browser. These are my browser tabs up here on the top. This is probably a Chrome browser, I'm pretty sure. I mean, maybe you're on a Mac with a Safari browser. Do they still make Safari browsers? In any event, whatever browser you're using, it doesn't matter, right? You'll be able to log in. It's web-based. Log in. Now, when I hit this F11 button on my keyboard, then it goes full screen. So I don't see any. I don't have any tabs at the top. I don't have anything at the bottom, and it gives me a little bit more real estate and a cleaner look. So it was kind of a tip. This is a recent tip, by the way. I didn't know this, I don't know, a month ago, but Mission Control straightened me out. So hopefully that helps. All right, so let's kind of take a look here. Here's my layout. This is remember, this is modular, right? So you could create as many of these modules or tabs within a module as you want on your desktop. And desktop is a unique thing. Maybe you have multi-monitor setup, maybe you don't. Maybe you like to see more charts as opposed to less order information. Whatever your cup of tea is fine. You could do it with this layout. And so let's go ahead and start. I just want to go around the horn here. The trading ladder's on the left. It's the trading ladder, depth of market, DOM, we call it. Some people call it a matrix. It's right there on the left. In the center, I have some charts. On the right-hand side, I have a couple of different windows. I have a quote board at the top that's broken down by asset class, a series of tabs at the top. I have my orders area here. These are all the orders that I've made so far today with fills and cancels, and there's nothing working, so there's nothing open. At the bottom are my positions, right? I'm 3x3 in crude oil and 2x2 in the E-mini S&P. And this is kind of basic layout, right? So let's start. How would you even start? How would you even add a trading ladder to your platform? We'll go to the upper left-hand side. There's a plus button. It says add modules. You see that? I'm just hovering my mouse over the upper left. I hit the plus sign, and you could add all of these modules, right? And the ones that we're going to add is depth of market right here. You have all these options of things you could add, right? And you could create templates and save templates. I have several templates already saved, but we're going to go ahead and just click on this DOM and drag it to the position I want to drag it in. I'm going to drag it in the middle. Right, I'm going to drag it in the middle position here, or you could kind of go to the left, the right. It kind of tells you it's a smart kind of application, which says, hey, if I let go of my mouse now, this is where my trading ladder is going to be. If I let go now, this is where my trading ladder is going to be. So I'm going to let go here and put a new DOM in the middle. And then the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pick a market. We'll stick with the E-mini S&P. I'll go ahead and hit that symbol and type select. And there it is. That was a smart search. I could go ahead and search for any futures market that I want. Now, I already have one over here as well. So I have two. Now I have two instances, right? So as an example, maybe you want to look at crude oil and E-mini S&P at the same time. Maybe you want to put them side by side. I don't know. But I put this in the middle just because we're going to be working in the middle here. And I kind of wanted to really focus on this. And so, again, you could kind of adjust your borders also by see how my mouse is kind of over there. I could kind of open up this window a little bit more. If I want to delete a module altogether, I can just go to the module I want to delete. And on the upper right corner is an X. I could just click on that X. And they'll say, hey, you sure you want to remove it? Yeah, I want to remove it. I hit OK, and that one on the left is now gone. So let's stick with this in the middle. If this is too hard to see, anybody let me know. I can go to full screen. And actually, the way to do that, by the way, in the upper right corner here, you see these little arrows here. These are two arrows kind of pointing to the upper right. And then when you put your mouse over it, it says full size, and you click on it, it'll expand whatever window you look at, whatever module you're looking at, trading ladder, chart, quote board, doesn't matter. It'll do that really, really neatly. If you want to bring it back down, go all the way back to the right again, and you'll see full size, but the arrows say minimize, right? They're minimized. So you click on that, it'll move it back to the middle. So let's talk about what a trading ladder is, really. And this is, probably in my humble opinion, the trading ladder is it's very powerful. It's kind of unique in the futures world. You might get a trading ladder if you have a special direct access level 2 account with your broker. You have $25,000 or more in there, and you meet all this criteria. But it's not the same because this trading ladder shows us all of the orders around the last traded price, all of the limit orders to buy on the left, all of the limit orders to sell on the right from all the market participants. This is a transparent price ladder. In other words, you're seeing the order book at the CME group, or if you were trading a Eurex market, you'd be seeing the order book at Eurex, right? And so that's what makes this a little bit unique. It's first in, first out on orders. So, a 500 lot order isn't going to step in front of you in line if you only have a one contract order, right? First in, first out, transparent. You see the whole order book. You see all the bids and offers. Sometimes they're called asks on the right hand side. This is offers, asks, the same thing. And this is where you could place trades directly from the ladder. Now in the middle, this is why it's called a ladder. These are your prices, right? And each price is the smallest increment that a market could move, which is called a tick, right? And this is traded in quarter points. So each tick is worth a quarter point. And then, of course, 4 quarters equals a whole point. So when someone says, I want to buy a 43.81 and I want to sell it at even 43.81 even, and I want to sell it at 43.82 even. That's a 1 point or 4 ticks. Now, other markets have different tick sizes. This one happens to be traded in quarters, and each contract here in the E-mini S&P, this is what we're at. Look at the upper left. E-mini S&P is $12.50 per tick per contract. So that's how that would work. Now there's a plus tab next to it. That's right. I can add another market here. I can click on the plus tab, right? And I say, let's add crude oil, right? And I can search for anything, to be honest with you, but it's a smart search. You type in a keyword, it'll give you some options. So if I wanted to do like notes, and then hit, I'm sorry. You have to type in treasury notes, but in this case would be ZN would be the market. It'll give me all of them, right? It'll give me all of them. So these are all the front months for the 10-year note market as an example. So again, hit the plus sign. I could tell you this is already pre-populated, but we can go ahead and type in, crude oil. And there's a lot of other crude oil markets also in the out months, right? It's a monthly contract. You can go all the way out, but this is the front month. So we're going to select it and hit select, and it'll add it here. So this is the crude oil trading ladder. And each one of these ticks, you can see it's, hey, wait a second. This isn't traded in quarter points. This is traded in pennies, right? 0.71 to 0.72 is a penny, and that's worth $10 per contract. So again, it's traded in tenths, I guess you would say, right? Or hundredths if you wanted to be more specific. So that's a different market. Now I can toggle back and forth. Okay, I want to toggle back and forth. I want to go back to the E-mini S&P. Just click on those tabs. You could have as many of those open as you want. Now, the other thing you could do is you could have a second instance of the DOM like we had when we started. Right, we had a second in. We had 2 of them. Remember, one on the left, and you could look at them side by side. Also, personal preference. Create your own canvas. Paint your own Picasso, and get comfortable with your layout. So we know what the prices are in the middle. We know that on the left-hand side are bids, or this is where we place orders to buy. On the right-hand side, these are offers. This is where we place orders to sell. In the upper right, there's a view settings button. It's a cog, right? It looks like a gear. I'm going to click on that. It's going to open up some options. And here are some of the options. Let's go through these really quickly. We got show histogram bar. Let's click on that. What does that do? That adds another column to the trading DOM. This column is basically a tick for tick volume profile, which tracks all the volume that have been traded at any given price throughout the course of the session. Pretty handy here, right? So it's right here in the chart. You could also add it to on the DOM. You could also add it to the chart if you want, but right here, it's pretty handy to have it right here on the trading ladder. And you can see as an example, we're trading at 81.25. There was 33,000 contracts traded here. That's the biggest histogram bar I could see on this particular trading ladder, right? So it's typically it shows you different levels, and there's some you can call them volume distributions if you want, but it's particularly helpful. Let's go back to the view settings gear again. And then we have another option here that says show join bid and join asks. Click on that, and it adds this join bid button or this join ask button. And we're going to get into the trading in a second. So I'll talk about what these mean in a little bit more detail, but let's go through the settings first, and then we'll go to the DOM itself and make some trades. Click in again. We have show pulling and stacking. It's a little bit more advanced, but I'm not going to select that for this presentation. Stop type, that's kind of important. Let's click on stop type, and you could set it, right? You could set it to stop the very first default, which is it behaves like a market order, right? If once the market touches the price, your stop price, you automatically get a fill at the best available price. You could do a stop limit order if you'd like to do that. You could do a trailing stop or a trailing stop limit. We could do any of these as well. Let's keep it simple for now. We'll leave it at stop, and I'll just hit save, and it's just a basic market order stop. Let's go back to that gear again, and there's another setting within the setting. And these are kind of important. This very first one, limit order, left click, stop order, right click, or you could change it to limit order, left click, stop order, left click. And then these are all kind of preference things, right? Show bid ask histogram, P&L in ticks instead of in dollar amounts, show estimated P&L, show chart indicators. I can show chart indicators, for instance, if I'm tracking a moving average by selecting this, and then show histogram values, which are the numbers in the actual histogram bars in the column we just ended. And this is just color coding. Right. So that's what these settings are for. We're going to leave it all the same for now. I'm going to hit save and OK. And then lastly, going back up here, let's say that the front month of the E-mini S&P wasn't December anymore. In other words, it's about to, this contract, the December contract is about to expire, and the next contract is the March contract. You know, that's which is going to be true pretty soon. Then you could click that roll forward button, and it'll change this ES December 2023 to an ES March 2024. We're not there yet, but that's how you roll over contracts. It's pretty easy. Next to the name of the market you're looking at, it'll have a position. My position is 0. I'm flat. I don't have a position. It'll have my open P&L, my gross P&L. It's 0. I don't have a position. And then quantity. I could change my quantity. If I didn't want to do one contract, I could do 2 contracts. I could do 3 or 4 or whatever, however many contracts that I want. So that's kind of at the top. Now, next to it is a buy market order button, right? If I want to buy a contract at the market, I'd click on that. On the right-hand side, flanking this middle gray button here is the sell market button. And in the middle is exit at market and cancel, right? This is if you have a position and you would like to get flat immediately, and you have working orders, you'd like to cancel those, you'd click on that, and that's what would happen if you clicked on it. It's kind of like a panic button, right? Join bid allows you to play actually, you'd use a join bid if you would like to get long or buy a contract, and you would use it because it would give you one tick, usually one tick better, not always, but usually one tick better than a market order, right? So it would give you the highest bid in the order book. It would place an order there. This would be join bid. Join offer, it would be, I would like to sell it at the lowest price in the order book. And if you think about it, on the left-hand side, the highest number here, that's the highest price somebody's willing to pay for this contract. And on the other side, the offer side or the sell side, it's the lowest price someone's willing to sell. And the difference between the lowest bid and the highest offer is called the bid-ask spread, right? The bid-ask spread. And typically, not always, but typically, especially in this market, the E-mini S&P, the bid-ask spread's usually only one tick apart. If you're trading over the counter Forex, you would say pips, ticks, same thing. So right now, that's a good thing, right? Because it means there's a lot of liquidity. It means the bid-offer spread is tight. It means that with the tighter bid-offer spread, your transaction costs are lower and all of that stuff. So when you're looking at different trading ladders, take a look at that bid-ask spread to get an idea of how tight it is at any given time. This is a pretty tight bid-ask spread. Okay, so at the very bottom here, let's finish the anatomy here. I have day trade on. I have a day trade on. I'm not going to change that. And then I have ATM. See that way at the bottom. ATM, automatic trade management, is off, right? We could change it to on, and we could change it. We will do that. We could put a simple bracket in and stuff like that. It's super cool. But let's go ahead and let's just go ahead and do let's put a limit order in. Let's say I'd like to buy a contract at 83.79 even. I'm going to move my mouse to the bid column, and I'm going to click once, and it's going to place an order. And by what it's doing is it's sending this order through your internet connection to NinjaTrader through a series of ISPs to the CME group, and then the CME group's reporting back to us that you've placed this order, and it's graphically represented here, sometimes as fast as, by all measures, milliseconds. It really happens that fast. So this order here is called, it's working. I'm working to buy one E-mini S&P 79 even, I would say, right? Now, alternatively, if I'd like to sell a contract instead, I'd pick a price, and let's just go pick it 43.83. And I'd like to sell a contract up here on a limit order, and I'm going to click once. And it's going to go ahead and do the same thing, send an order to the exchange. And now I'm working one, right? Working one. There it is. It's right there. You can see it red in the sell column. I'm trying to sell a contract at 83 even, right? Now you can see there's 178 other contracts that were there before me, right? And now those numbers are dynamic, right? They change. People, add contracts to sell here, and then people also cancel orders that were there. So that's why that number moves around a lot. So, but the longer I'm here, the closer I'm going to get to the front of the line, which is what I want. Now the market is, you can see where the last traded price is. That's the yellow shaded sell in the middle, and you can see where it's at. It's moving around pretty quick. So that's it. Now the rectangle, this is the triangle. This is a green triangle. It's green, so I'm long. I bought one, and that's the price I bought it at, right? That's the price I bought it at. And so as the market moves above and below it, you can see how much money you're down or how much money you're up. And you could also see it on the positions area at the top of the trading ladder where it says, hey, we're long one at 79 even. There's no question about that. And then here's my mark-to-market gross P&L moving around as the market moves around. As the market moves around, this is going to calculate a different number because that's basically mark to market. In other words, if I get out of my trade at the price that it's the last traded price, this is what my P&L would be. Okay, if you have any questions on that, if I'm going too fast, go ahead and ask, type in a note there, and Ed will pass that over to me as well. Now, you can see I have a profit target now, right? So I'm long one at 79, and I have this order up here at 83. It's my profit target. I could leave it here, or I could click once, drag it to a different price, and release it. I just canceled and replaced that order. Alternatively, I can cancel it completely by clicking that X there, right next to the, on the right-hand side of the red shaded area. Now, the other thing I need to do is I need to put a stop in, right? And this would be a sell stop below the market. There's a certain point in time when, hey, I was wrong in my trade idea. The direction changed. Let's just go down to, I don't know, 77 even. And I'm going to click my middle mouse button, right? I have middle mouse button set up. I click the middle mouse button, and then it placed that order right there in the sell column. Does that make sense? So you got to use, or you could right click, because remember we had it set up right click as well. So right click, I have it set up two ways, but more commonly it's right click, left click. So right click places that order, and left click places a limit order in the actual ask column, and then you could manage it. Now, when I move an order down, when I grab it and move it down, I cancel and replace it. In other words, it's a brand new order. I canceled the first order, I replaced it with a new order, I moved it down, and now I'm in line at 43.81. And all this happens, lickety split. It's just you blink your eye and it's done. So I'm in real-time sim mode today, folks, just so you know that. But even in a live account, it's super, super quick. In any event, now that the market's kind of going against me, I see my P&L is getting bigger and negative at the top here, and I don't have to do anything if I don't want, or I can. Now, this exit at market and cancel button, I'm going to click on that, and what it'll do is it'll sell a contract first to make me flat, and then it should cancel this order and should cancel that order. I'm going to go ahead and click, and it did it that fast. And I have an order fill note in my ear. So that's how that happens. Now I'm scrolling around. I could scroll up and scroll down with my mouse just by putting it in the middle part. And I could also click in the middle. It'll open up a dialog box to create an alert, right? I can create an alert here if I wanted to. I can create an advanced alert. I can create a simple alert, and it'll warn me, let me know when whatever my conditions were for that alert that triggers it. So you click on the middle price ladder there. That's how you activate the alert setup ticket. So let's kind of let's move to the join bid just to kind of see it in action. Now, join bid is going to put me right, it's a fast moving market, but it'll put me right at the end of the line at the highest level when I place the order, at the highest price someone's willing to buy it. And so since I sent that order, the market's kind of rallied against me. This is a really good lesson learned, because sometimes in join bid, you don't get fills. It doesn't behave like a market order, give you the best available price. In this case, I placed it. I was at the back of the line. The market moved against me and I didn't get a fill. So that order is still sitting there. So that's the risk of joining the bid. And the same with the joining the offer. Now I'll go ahead and join the offer, hit join ask or offer, same thing. And it's going to place a limit order at the lowest possible price that there is. I'll hit that join ask. And again, so I'm one tick away now. I have the market surrounded, by the way. Something's going to give. And that's how you use that join ask, join bid. Some people think it saves a tick on the entry. Some people don't. It's up to you. But remember, saving a tick in the entry is saving $12.50 on the trade. So again, think of the bid-ask spread as part of your transaction costs. All right. Let's keep moving here. I'm going to cancel this order. I'm going to flatten. Just going to hit a couple ways you could flatten. Let me cancel this order. So right now I'm long one, right? I could put a limit order in, right, to offset the trade and say, okay, market comes up here at 43.80. I'll be flat, right? Because I have +1 right now. I'm long one. This would sell one, and it'd be flat. That's one way to do it. Another way to do it is simply sell at the market. This will sell at the best available price, which would be the highest bid. If I click on this sell market button, it'll get me out at the highest bid. And the highest bid is dynamic. It's moving around. So you're not really sure where you're going to get filled at when you hit that sell market button, right? And so you could get filled one or two or more ticks past where you want to get filled. And then that would be, that's called getting slippage in your trade, right? That's called getting slippage. So again, it's immediate. It's immediate. There is no wait, right? There's no wait. And then the other way, of course, is to use your right click and just go ahead and place a stop loss in. And this is, if the market touches this price right here, 43.75.5, it will trigger this stop market order and I'll immediately get filled just like that. So in any event, I can cancel it from the ladder here. And then lastly, again, I already showed that exited market. Boom, that'll get me flat for sure, but it will also cancel this order. If I just hit sell market, it won't cancel this order. I have to exit at market and cancel to actually cancel this. Watch, I'll just hit sell. I'll be flat. I'm long one right now. I'll hit the sell button. I'm flat. This order is still going. I mean, the trading ladder thinks, well, you didn't tell me to cancel this one, so I'll leave it like that. So in any event, I'm going to go ahead and we'll go ahead and cancel this one also. So now I'm flat. I have nothing working here at all. I can confirm that on my orders tab on the right-hand side. Let's go down to ATM. Let's hit the little setting icon cog wheel if you want and see what we get. We have ATM settings. Let's turn them on. Let's turn them on. Automatic trade management systems here. So we could name it if we want. We could show it in ticks. And for this is really what we need to decide. What type of ATM setting do I want? Well, let's do a simple bracket, it's called, right? So we'll create a position and then we'll literally have a profit and a stop loss automatically put in for us that are associated with one another. So I'll go ahead and do that. Now I have to decide, well, how many ticks up would you like your profit target? So I don't know. And I'm just making this up at home, folks. Don't follow home live with me. Let's just make it 8 and 8. And the stop loss will behave like a stop, right? I'm not going to do a stop limit or trail the stop or anything like that, although you can trail the stop. So I'm going to go ahead and just keep it like that. I'll hit save and OK. And then now I just got to pick a direction here on this particular market. Market's been going up, so we're going to go ahead and just join the bid again. And look at what it did. It put my 8 ticks up. You could see it's this isn't working yet, but as soon as I get filled, it will be. And so now it's filled. So profit target 8 ticks up from my position, and then stop 8 ticks below my position. So why is that so cool? Well, one thing is now these things are placed automatically, and the second thing is it's an OCO, right? Order cancels other. That's what OCO means. Some older people might say order cancels order. Either way, but it's order cancel other is official. So if we get filled up here at 79.25 with our profit target, right? Not only will we be on fire because it's a winning trade, but we'll also, the stop should automatically cancel, right? It'll automatically cancel. So now I don't have to worry, right? I don't have to worry about forgetting about it, moving to, I'm going to go over to crude oil now and check that market out and kind of forgetting about my trade. It all happens automatically. So that's a really handy feature. It's called a simple bracket. I could trail the stop also if I wanted to, and we just go back to the cog, right? And then you would set it up differently with your type of stop loss. Now I have this on, right? I have it on. You can see it's turned on. So be careful because my next trade, it will still be on. I could turn it off easily, just go back to the gear and turn it off if I want. These orders too could also be changed, right? So I could move these orders, cancel and replace these orders just by grabbing them and dragging them again. And the OCO instructions are still valid. They're still working. So again, if I'm trailing my stop, that could be convenient, right? Because now I'm going to trail it up. And as the market goes my way, keep trailing it up. And then, eventually we'll probably get stopped out. I don't know. But once we get stopped out, we'll see if I'll try to get stopped out on purpose right now. We'll see if we get that next unit gets deleted, canceled. Not deleted, it's canceled. We don't delete orders. We cancel them. Let's move it up. All right. Let's keep going. All right, here we go. We're getting close here. Let's let this demonstration play itself out for a second here. One way or the other. A little bit, slower kind of moving market today than it was on Friday, that's for sure, and last Thursday, that's for sure, at least with respect to the stock index futures here, is particularly the E-mini S&P. So we'll hang tight here a couple seconds. I'm going to keep trailing, though. By following my stop up, now I'm creating additional potential on my trade, right? Because eventually I'll get stopped out, but maybe I'll get stopped out at a better price. So stop fill, profit target canceled automatically. So that's how that works. Let's change this crude oil market here. I'm just going to double click on the tab, and I'm going to change this to the NQ, right? That's the NASDAQ. That's the micro NASDAQ contract. Let's double click on that and just kind of pay attention here. So right here we have, you see the bids and offers are smaller and it's moving around a lot quicker, right? So this is kind of how you could judge different depths. This depth here is in triple digits. This depth here is in single digits, right? Or double digits rather. So it's a thinner market. There's less bids and offers resting in the order book. Part of the reason, in my opinion, is because this is a smaller size contract and it bounces around a lot, right? It bounces around a lot. This isn't, the classic NASDAQ isn't a $12.50 contract. So that's one of the reasons I think this bounces around a little bit, and it just has more volatility. So keep that in mind when you're trading a market, thinking about your strategy. In my world, best practices are entering on limit orders and then exiting on stop orders, right? Limit order. That's kind of in my world, because a limit order is at your price or better. It can't give you a worse fill. You can't. You're either going to get. So let me just move this up to 209 even, and I'm going to sell one at 209 even or not at all. If the market doesn't go up there, I won't get it. But if we get up here and I'm close enough to the front of the line, I have a chance of getting it, right? And then the stop market's the one thing that the stop is going to be behave like a stop, like a market order. Put that in, and there it is. Now I have ATMs off on this one, right? Different tab. I have ATMs off on this one. So that's something to keep in mind. Each tab could be unique, which is super cool in this particular case. All right. Well, we covered a lot of ground, folks. Any last second questions or ideas or thoughts or anything, let me know. Shoot them over to Ed. Just to kind of recap, you could have as many trading ladders open as you want. It's modular, so we could have a couple of them side by side if we want, just by grabbing the dome icon here and placing it to wherever we want on our workstation, our workspace. We can place trades from here. We could monitor our P&L from here. We can create ATM strategies from here, which are OCO orders to make it easier for us. And so there's a lot of moving parts here, a lot of things that you could do with the trading ladder. And trading ladders, in my experience, are more popular for order entry than perhaps old-fashioned trade tickets or trading from the charts themselves. So that's just me. Just got filled here. Cancel that order here. Boom. Hit that cancel button. And we are good. If you don't like the black, you could toggle to a different color. On the upper right-hand side, just click on that, and you could change it to a light mode, or you could customize. But I have it on dark. It's easier for me to see, and it's in the dark mode. You could get a light mode, dark mode. That's how you would do it down here. And when I scroll all the way back, also, there's the one other piece of information that's really important. Under confirmations, ask when placing an order. If you're a little hesitant to click the button because you're afraid you're going to make a mistake, you could turn this on. You could turn this on, ask when placing an order, and then you turn that on. And again, from the upper right-hand thing, application settings, and when I go to place an order, it's going to say, hey, you sure you want to do it? You sure you want to do it? Well, yeah, I do. Or no, I don't, right? So it's simple as that. Hey, yes, you do, and it places the order. Now that's on. I could turn it off at any point in time, but that's how it is. So again, thanks for coming. Remember, most important message of the day, folks, please be safe out there. Be good to each other. See you soon.